A storm of emotions is sweeping through Broncos Country, a mix of hope and concern as injury news shakes the team ahead of a colossal clash with the Chargers. This isn't just another game. The stakes are massive. The winner seizes control of the AFC West with a 2-game cushion over the Chiefs, and for Denver, this is the moment to prove they belong at the top. The Broncos don't just need to win, they need to dominate, to send a message that this division belongs to them. And there's good reason to believe they can. From Coach Sean Payton's fiery press conference to the confidence radiating from Pat Surtain, the energy inside this locker room feels different. Before diving into the latest updates, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit like, and don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss the breaking Broncos news. Let's move on to the new story. And speaking of news, the Chargers just placed one of their stars on injured reserve, sidelined for at least 4 weeks. That twist changes everything for Sunday's showdown, and the Broncos know this is their chance to strike. If the Broncos are going to take down the Chargers, they'll need their biggest star at full strength, and the best news imaginable just dropped. Pat Surtain was a full participant in practice and is officially set to go on Sunday. That's not just good news. That's a game changer. What makes this even more powerful is his mindset. He could easily boast as the reigning Defensive Player of the Year, a title the entire NFL awarded him. But instead of bragging, Surtain did the opposite. He took accountability. After a tough outing, he didn't blame the coaches, he didn't blame the scheme. He looked in the mirror and said, "I could have made more plays. I'll be better." That's what true leadership looks like. It would have been simple to point fingers at the defensive play calling or the breakdowns in coverage. But Surtain chose ownership. That humility, combined with his dominance, is exactly why his teammates rally around him. And it doesn't stop there. He's pushing himself even harder this week, diving deep into film, preparing to anticipate every wrinkle the Chargers throw his way. He's approaching this challenge like a sponge, absorbing everything, sharpening his craft, and setting the tone for the entire Broncos defense. This is more than just one man preparing for Sunday. This is the heart of the Broncos defense stepping forward, saying, "Put it on me. I'll carry the load." The Broncos' ground game has suddenly become a weapon no defense wants to face. Sean Payton finally cut out the gimmicks and put the ball where it belongs, in the hands of J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey. The result? Explosive plays that are redefining Denver's offense. Dobbins has been electric. 10% of his carries have gone for more than 15 yards, numbers that put him among the most dangerous running backs in the entire league. Think about that, every 10 touches, you can count on a chunk play that changes the game. For a Broncos team that struggled to find explosive runs last season, this is nothing short of a revelation. The best part? Payton is managing him the right way. By balancing his workload, keeping his legs fresh, and giving him smart recovery days, the Broncos are setting Dobbins up to stay healthy and stay dominant all year long. If he keeps this pace, defenses are in serious trouble. Meanwhile, the motivation in the locker room is burning hot. Pat Surtain admitted last week wasn't their best performance and vowed the defense will answer against the Chargers. That hunger is what separates a good team from a great one. But there's also a shadow hanging over the roster. Dre Greenlaw, the marquee off-season signing, still hasn't practiced. It's a gut punch for a Broncos defense that could have been the absolute best in the NFL with him in the lineup. His presence was supposed to transform this unit into something unstoppable, and now his absence looms large heading into Sunday. The Broncos defense desperately needs Dre Greenlaw. Without him, the middle of the field has been exposed, especially against tight ends. Just last week, Denver's linebackers were picked apart in coverage, a reminder of why Greenlaw's presence is so vital. At first, there was hope. He practiced late last week, and it looked like he'd be ready for the Chargers. But now, with him sidelined again and working off to the side, that hope is fading. Sean Payton called the situation nebulous, and that's the last word Broncos fans want to hear when it comes to a former Pro Bowl linebacker who could set the tone for this defense. The real frustration is what this means for the roster. If Greenlaw misses more games, the decision not to put him on injured reserve could prove costly. That spot could have gone to another contributor, and instead the team is left waiting, hoping, and guessing. Still, there's reason for cautious optimism. Payton insists Greenlaw will return sooner rather than later, but the team needs that to mean very soon. And while the injury cloud hangs over Greenlaw, there's at least one encouraging sign. When Zach Allen went down with a neck scare, it looked serious at first. But the toughness he showed was unreal. He sprang out of the tent, strapped his helmet back on, and charged to the sideline ready to re-enter the fight. That resilience is the kind of energy the Broncos need as they prepare for their biggest test yet. The best news? Zach Allen is back in full stride. After that brief scare, he returned to practice and is expected to be ready on Sunday. Right now, he leads the entire league in quarterback hits, and against a Chargers offensive line missing its anchor, Rashawn Slater, that's a matchup Denver must exploit. If Allen keeps applying pressure, the Broncos' defense could control this game in the trenches. And then there's Bo Nix, a quarterback who refuses to settle for anything less than perfection. Courtland Sutton even joked that Nix gets frustrated if his shoelaces aren't tied tightly enough. That's how detail-obsessed he is. But that obsession translates to preparation, and it's exactly the mindset Denver needs heading into this showdown. Sutton put it simply, the Broncos have a chance to make a statement. They're underdogs, yes, but this team is fueled by frustration from the last 2 weeks. The Titans' loss, the missed opportunities, all of it has left Denver hungry and angry, ready to unleash their best football yet. And if history tells us anything, it's this: after their last gut-wrenching defeat, Bo Nix came out and shredded the Falcons, throwing for over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns while the defense suffocated Kirk Cousins. That kind of bounce-back performance is exactly what the Broncos are hunting for now. The Denver Broncos are building something special in the trenches, and it starts with the offensive line. What was once a question mark has now become one of the team's greatest strengths. Many hoped this unit could be top 5 in the league. Right now, they're looking like they might be top 3, maybe even number 1. Garrett Bowles has been nothing short of dominant. Last week, he was the highest-graded tackle in the NFL, and he did it while battling DeForest Buckner, one of the fiercest pass rushers in the game. That kind of performance doesn't just anchor an offense, it gives Bo Nix the confidence to play fearlessly. The proof is in the numbers. When defenses rush just 4, Nix is barely touched. Opponents have only pressured him on 17% of those snaps, a staggering level of protection. Compare that to Kansas City's Super Bowl loss when Patrick Mahomes was swarmed 6 times on 4-man pressure. That's the difference between winning and losing on the biggest stage, and Denver is determined not to let history repeat itself. And the good news doesn't stop there. Fullback Nate Atkins, one of Sean Payton's secret weapons, is expected to return. His versatility is invaluable, powerful enough to move the chains on short yardage runs, crafty enough to slip into a route and burn defenses on play action. When Atkins is on the field, opponents can never quite tell what's coming, and that unpredictability gives Denver an edge. The offensive line is dominant. The weapons are healthy. And the Broncos' attack is starting to look like one of the most complete in football. The return of Nate Atkins is no small detail, it's a huge addition to Denver's offense. His versatility as a fullback changes everything. When Bo Nix already has one of the league's best offensive lines protecting him, adding Atkins back into the mix gives the Broncos another weapon who can shift the balance between run and pass at any moment. He's the kind of player who keeps defenses guessing, the hidden piece who makes an offense unpredictable. But it hasn't been all good news. Tight end Evan Engram was held out of practice, raising some concern. Still, after Sunday's game, he said his calf felt fine, so this may just be Payton's way of keeping him fresh. Denver will need him, because to beat the Chargers, Bo Nix has to spread the ball, read coverages with precision, and punish defenses the way he did last week. That's the key to avoiding the mistakes that other quarterbacks have made against Los Angeles. So yes, it's been a mixed bag, Greenlaw still sidelined, Engram resting, but Atkins returning and the offensive line stronger than ever. What matters most is this: the Broncos are walking into Sunday's showdown with confidence, fire, and belief. This is more than just another AFC West battle. It's Denver's chance to plant their flag, to take control of the division, and to remind everyone that this team is coming for the top. Broncos Country, get ready. The fight for the West is here.